Okay, so the Predator movie that Shane Black is directing is kind of mired in some, let's call it some major controversy right now because um this is in the light of the Me Too era and all this type of stuff where, the whole sexual assault stuff that's been going on in Hollywood, sexual predators having jobs in Hollywood and all that type of stuff. And it's made its way into one of my most beloved franchises of all time, Predator. Of course, I love the first Predator film. I think almost anybody, even if they don't like action movies, love the original Predator. Predator 2, meh to some people. I think it's an underrated sequel. And Predator's kind of a disappointment, but a good soft reboot. And then there's the new Predator, the Predator, the one that is supposedly going to be either the thing that saves it or the thing that absolutely kills it because of the development hell it's been going through. And, the development hell is really bad when it comes to this movie because, Shane Black, you think he would have this under control, considering after the fiasco that was Iron Man 3. You'd think he would have everything under control for this movie, but he didn't. And so I'm going to explain this whole controversy in detail, at least from what I've seen about it and from what I've heard, and I'll leave a couple of links in the description below for it. So this lady named Olivia Munn, she's this new, not this new lady, but she's one of the new people in this Predator movie. Apparently she found out that one of her co-stars, this guy named Stephen Wilder Striegel, who was supposed to be like a bit of a cameo, I guess, or something like that, but apparently this guy was, he was just in this movie for a couple seconds with her, but she found out that this dude was a sexual predator, and I don't remember what time frame it was, but he was, 2010. In 2010, he was convicted of trying to solicit sexual relationships with the 14-year-old and was convicted on that. So he's a sexual predator, and she's like, so understandably so, she's like, why the fuck am I in this movie with this dude? Get him the fuck out of here. So you're just like, oh my god, how the hell did this happen? And apparently Shane Black knew. Shane Black fucking knew. Now, it's not like controversy hasn't sprung up in the Predator franchise before. John McTiernan, the guy who directed the first movie, arguably the man who made the first movie so great, and is one of the greatest action directors of all time, he was mired in controversy, but it wasn't mired in the movie. The dude, committed perjury and he got sent to prison, and that's basically it. In terms of how that happened, he kind of fucked up. Now, when he comes, I can kind of understand some people saying, well, Straggle fucked up. He shouldn't have done that. Maybe if he was friends with the guy, and apparently he was friends with Shane Black, which is why Shane Black kept him in anyway despite that. He'd shown up in a couple of other Shane Black films, like Iron Man 3, and another one of his movies. So you're just like, well, how in the living world of hell did he, especially in now, like in the political scene that we're in, how did Shane Black think it was a good idea to say, hey, you know what, I'll cast a sex offender in my movie. I don't care if he's a sex offender, but he's my friend. I can understand, being friends with somebody. You're like, okay, but dude, he's a sex offender. You don't just do that in the era of Me Too. Okay, now this isn't an exaggeration thing that the feminists will decry, like the Chris Hardwick thing. Okay, I already said my piece on that. I am going to revisit it sometime, though. But, this isn't like the whole thing with Chris Hardwick where it was just some bullshit. This is a thing that is confirmed to have happened in this dude's past. And he was a movie with an 11-year-old boy. Granted, he may not have been going gay for the boy, but, he freaking, being next to minors, I'm pretty sure it's a big no-no. Shane Black had to have known, hey, this isn't exactly the right thing. If you were going to make him in the movie, do it where the actors and actresses wouldn't know. But apparently Olivia Munn was the one who found out about it, and then she ratted that dude out, and rightfully Fox fired him for it. And I'm like, That's good. That's a very good thing for Fox to do. But this apparently has, like, this isn't a video this really wasn't a video I was planning to make. Mainly because it's ridiculous. I'm just like, how is this a thing? And I'm just looking at it, I'm just like, how in the hell is this happening? And so Olivia Munn, I don't know her background. She seems to be like one of those feminist types, but she did something right. I'm not gonna call her out on anything stupid. Like, she did what I think is pretty good. She did say a couple things like this may cost her career or something like that, even though it's like, this is Shane Black. Yeah, he's a good director, he's a good writer, but I mean, it's not like you were trying to go out there against Meryl Streep or something. Now that would have definitely cost her career if she said something along the lines of Meryl Streep knew about this stuff and she kept silent on it or something like that. That would have been a bigger deal. That would have been a much bigger deal in the context of the whole situation. And so, just looking at it, just like, whoa, holy crap. So she's on the outs with Shane Black. They're not really communicating right. Because Shane Black didn't say anything for a couple of days, and then he finally he initially came out in the defense of this guy, and then he backtracked his statements. So at least he backtracked, but he still came to the defense of the dude, and was like, well, holy shit. Shane Black, what the hell are you doing, dude? This dude was sexually assaulting minors. You don't just defend a guy like that in the movie. And apparently, this also riled some feathers within the casting itself. Like, she was supposed to do, the entire cast was supposed to do this Hollywood Reporter interview. And the only person that showed up was the 11-year-old kid. Okay? Now, Sterling K. Brown, he couldn't make it because of an obligation he had to do with the production of another movie he was in, so I'm not going to say that he was doing this stuff, and he came out on Twitter and was supportive of her. But people like Keegan Michael Key. Now, I don't like Keegan Michael Key. I haven't made this clear yet, but Keegan Michael Key is kind of a douchebag. And of course, he's one of those guys in the 2016 election who was like, don't let Electoral College, don't elect Trump or some shit like that. And I'm like, why are you being such a pussy? And so I'm just like, okay, well, what the fuck? So I don't even know why they casted Keegan Michael Key in it in the first place. He is not an action hero, and I'm just like, I don't care. All right, and I watched and it's just gonna have some major problems for the Predator when it comes to the box office, especially with what I know about like what the movie's about, mainly as far as like the tone and setting. Because I watched a review on it on YouTube this morning by Jared Dines, and he said that it's basically a comedy. Or not really that it's a comedy, it's that it's sprinkled with that Marvel-esque comedy. Like, it has all the settings of a good Predator movie, but the tone is just off. Now, the thing about the original Predator was that it started off, it was like a, like it was self-aware in some sort. Like, it was like an Avatar the Last Airbender before Avatar the Last Airbender with its self-awareness. There were just so many nods to the audience, like the handshake thing in midair with Arnold and Carl Weathers showing off their muscles. That's like, holy shit, that was like a nod to the audience. There was that line with Blaine saying, I ain't got time to bleed. And then the other guy's like, oh, okay. So it's like, but then as the movie progresses, and like this is something Red Letter Media did in their review of it, it said it kind of regressed into a slasher movie. It got more serious as it went along. Things got a little more dire. Elements were stripped away in order to progress the setting and the tone. Was, helped because of that. And so you're just watching it and it's like, holy crap, this is kind of like, this is like a kind of a Commando-esque shocky comedy, as the guy said it on Red Letter Media. But then it turns to a slasher flick, and by the end, it's just like no real dialogue spoken. It's just body language and good direction by John McTiernan. And so you're just like, this is pretty crazy. And so But that's a whole discussion for a whole nother video. I don't know why I even said that, but go back to this situation. So Sterling K. Brown was really the only cast member other than the 11-year-old boy who is supporting Olivia Munn. Shane Black's in a bit of trouble. This is not something you want to happen in regards to a movie that has been mired in so much crap as far as the production and like reshoots, big ass story reshoots. Your movie's in production hell. Okay, a lot of people are assuming this movie is going to be shit. I mean, I watched Smaller, Rags, and The Dishonored Wolf a lot, and one of their live streams was like, the Predator is like, one of the things they kind of agreed on was that the Predator has like no chance of being good, based on everything we know about the production. And it's just like, this is going to be a nail in the coffin for it. Now, I'm planning to go see it just because it's a Shane Black Predator movie. Hell yes. This is something I've been wanting. Maybe the reshoots will make it good. I don't know. But based on that Jared Dines review, and based on this controversy and the stuff on the development hell this thing's going through, I don't blame people if they don't want to go see it. I'm going to go see it just because this is Predator. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time. Alright, the Predator is such an awesome alien monster thing. It's just like, it's so good. And the sequels can be debated all throughout, but it's still a good series. Except Alien vs. Predator. I'm surprised I didn't even mention that until now. But basically, this whole situation is pretty crappy. Because if Olivia Munn and only a couple more people are like saying, hey, why the hell was this dude in there? Like, or at least trying to support Olivia Munn through this. And Shane Black is like, not, like, and Shane Black apparently didn't even like apologize face to face to Olivia Munn. He just said it online. Like, I'm not sure if Olivia Munn and Shane Black have really talked at all about the situation. It's just like, this is just something that could have been avoided, and it wasn't avoided. And that's the whole thing I'm trying to come across here. Is like, why the hell is this a thing? Shane, you had to have better sense than this. This is something that you should have been avoiding the entire time. It's like, if you want this movie to succeed, you knew the movie's going through development hell. You're the fucking director. You gotta have a little bit more sense when it comes to these things. If you want your movie to succeed, don't cast a sexual predator in the fucking movie. Speaking of the arm shake. And it's just like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Come on, Shane. I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed. Alright, I know a lot of some of my favorite actors and directors and writers are kind of always been in this Hollywood type of culture where like the sexual promiscuity thing's kind of brushed over. But here is a good thing to take away from this situation. At least it's not a fucking Roman Polanski type of thing. At least it's not a Roman Polanski thing where the guy freaking rapes a girl and then leaves America and gets an Oscar and is applauded by everybody even though they know that the dude raped a 14-year-old girl. At least with this one, there was some justice done. The dude lost his job. The dude shouldn't have had the job. Why did he have the job in the first place? And so it's just, in terms of like, will this affect my chance to go see The Predator? No, this isn't really going to affect it. This is going to affect how I'm going to look at the movie as a whole. But I am definitely going to be one of those people who is going to walk into the theater to watch this movie. And if it's good, it's good. If it's meh, it's meh. If it's shit, it's shit. This controversy isn't going to really affect the movie as a whole, because it was only just one scene. But I mean, this is, like I said, this was just one scene. This isn't going to affect the entire movie. This isn't like some massive thing that was going to fuck up the whole movie. But this is going to turn some people away, and this is really going to hamper the box office success of The Predator. And it may end it. It may end the entire Predator franchise as we know it until 10 years later when somebody else gets the rights from it because Disney doesn't know what the fuck to do with it, because Disney doesn't want to take some risk. I'm not talking about The Last Jedi, by the way. But it's like, I mean, it's just like the entire fate of the Predator franchise kind of rests here, and it's gonna be bad if it ends on a really terrible note, and this whole situation is going to be one of the big reasons that it's like that. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna try to do a thing later. Don't really know. I'm kind of conflicted on what I want to do as far as some new videos. So basically, thank you guys for watching. Don't die. I'll see you later.